Yo, what is good YouTube? I am Richie Kim, and today I'm going to be bringing you all the performance review on the Under Armour Curry 5. Before we get started, if you all like sneaker reviews and other sneaker related videos, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button down below. But anyways, let's get right into it. As always, starting off with the traction, the Curry 5 features this line traction pattern that tends to form squares. And this is a dual density rubber traction, so the translucent rubber is a different type of rubber compound than the black part right here on the forefoot, and also the traction patterns are a little bit different as well. On the translucent, it's just lines that kind of form like the edges of squares or the corners of squares, whereas on this black part you actually see squares and there's a circular pattern going throughout that little black square as well. I really didn't like the traction on the Curry 5. It was very inconsistent, and the translucent rubber, I felt like I had no traction whatsoever on court. It really didn't grip the court that well. The black part, on the other hand, it had some decent amount of grip on court. However, because it is incorporated with the translucent rubber, you only get that traction when the black part is touching the court, and even then it is still a little inconsistent. I feel like if they used the rubber compound that's on the black part for the whole outsole, the traction would have been a lot better, but you know, they didn't. I don't know why, and because of that, traction definitely suffers. So if you guys are playing on clean courts, you guys may have a little bit of problems here and there, but if you guys are playing on dustier courts, I would just stay away from this because the traction is super inconsistent, and not to mention this traction pattern picks up a lot of dust, so you're gonna have to wipe consistently. Overall, I was really unhappy with the traction on the shoe, so for the Curry 5, I give this traction a 6.5 out of 10. So moving on to the cushion, I'm not exactly sure what kind of foam they use for the Curry 5, but in my opinion, it feels very similar to the Curry 4, maybe just a little bit more forgiving. So if you guys are players that rely on very quick responsive movements, this cushion setup is made for you guys. So my play style, I need very quick movements, very good court feel, and you know, that's exactly what the shoe gives. But if you guys want impact protection, this is definitely not the shoe. Like I said, it is a little bit more forgiving than the Curry 4 in my opinion, but it's still nowhere near as close as to something like the Dame 4s. For cushion, I would give this shoe an 8.5 out of 10. Moving on to the materials, the Curry 5 is said to have used Anafoam and Under Armour's knit upper, and then some reviews that are being put out already say that this isn't actually Anafoam, so I don't know what type of material this is, but this toe shroud and where the heel counter is a little bit harder material. I'm not exactly sure what it is. It kind of feels like Anafoam, but at the same time it really doesn't. And since there aren't any official tech specs out for the shoe, I can't give you guys the specific details on what type of materials are used on the shoe. Just know that on the shroud and the heel counter area, the material is harder. It's like kind of like a harder foam, whereas underneath is this one booty knit upper that feels really nice, but the rest of the shoe really doesn't feel that nice. For materials on the shoe, I would give it probably like an 8.5 out of 10. So moving on to fit, this is where the Curry 5 really suffers, and it could not really be categorized in the fit, but it also can be. It's just the way the overall shoe is structured, but I'll get into more details about that. So overall, I think the Curry 5 runs pretty true to size. Lengthwise, it fits fine, but widthwise, especially where the arch of your foot is, it really sucks. Like, this shoe just completely sucks. It's the way that they designed this foam piece or something about this area right here that just digs into the arch of your foot, and it makes it almost unbearable to play in. A lot of reviewers have been saying they've been getting blisters, and I can definitely see why. I have some blisters as well, but not to the extent of them, because I had to stop playing in these because this shoe is extremely painful to play in, mainly because of how this arch part is designed. If you guys have even like slightly wide feet, I would stay away from the shoe at all. Even like maybe normal feet, I would stay away, because like, until you've tried this on, I don't think you can understand what type of pain I'm talking about. But it is excruciating and it makes this shoe very, very unbearable to play in. So for fit, everywhere else, the fit is fine. It's just mainly in this arch area where it just kills your feet. So overall fit, I don't even know what to give this for a rating. It's extremely low. So support, on the other hand, is pretty decent. I had no side-to-side movement on the footbed, mainly due to this foam or whatever material toe shroud, and the external heel counter does a good job of making sure that your heel is locked in place. Combined with the fit of the one booty upper, your foot really doesn't move anywhere, but that's also kind of one of the downfalls of the shoe because of how tight it is in the arch area. But overall, support is actually pretty nice in the shoe. If they had just changed the traction pattern and the way that they sculpted this arch area, then I feel like the Curry 5 would have been a very good performer. However, it is not. But for support, I would probably give the shoe an 8.5 out of 10. The Curry 5 retails for $130, and for $130, I would not recommend this shoe at all. This is the worst Curry model I have ever played in, and it'll probably stay like that. And I've played in the 2s, the 3s, 3.5s, the 4s, and this Curry 5 is just not up to standards for the Curry line. I have no idea what Under Armour was thinking when they actually produced these shoes for retail or for retail sale. So the Curry 5 is a dud. Definitely just stay away from playing in this shoe at all. You guys are gonna regret playing in these, because the blisters that you get from the arch area of the shoe is just, it's so dumb. Like, that should not happen in a basketball shoe, and I'm just super disappointed in the Curry 5. That's pretty much it for this review, guys. If you guys like this video, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button down below, and also smash that thumbs up button for me, as it really does help me out. And while you guys are at it, check out this video on my left and on my right, and that's pretty much it. Until next time, peace.